few years ago, around 2021, that's when it could have happened before, but that's when it really, if it did happen before, then this is when it really started happening. So I believe it's like it really started happening. I just got this thought and this feeling just to pray for Mr. Akira Toriyama. And the thought was specifically saying for praying for, like, that he's saved by God, like he comes to Christ. Because I am a Christian. But yeah, that just thought came into my mind around 2021. I have a video of me celebrating his birthday back in 2021. And that's around the time that was happening. So I just started praying throughout the years for that here and there. I wasn't walking around worried, but yeah, I was still praying, because I obviously don't want to be worried. But yeah. And so then I noticed a few days ago, like around a week ago, all of a sudden I'm chilling. I wasn't even sad or nothing. I could have like a little joyous expression on, and then I just start, like, tears just start rolling from my eye. Not like up, like sobbing, but like some tears just start slowly. They just start coming down from my eyes, and this happened like just throughout different times of the day. Randomly, seems like I don't think nothing's random, but like that's what it was, just coming at different times of the day and throughout for multiple days and stuff. And at around, if not like late 12 something a.m., then around like maybe 1 something a.m., my brother came up, beat me. I was in my room with my parents. We were just chilling, watching Buddy Daddies, even already seen that like the night before, but we were just, actually no, we had on the One Piece movie, but we just got done watching that. And we was all just having a great time. But then around 12 to 1 something a.m., my brother came up and said, he has bad news. And I was like, oh, what is it? First I thought it was somebody, like death to somebody or something. I was like, nah, hopefully it's not that. But unfortunately, it was. My brother said Akira Toriyama passed away last week due from some type of brain. I read it, but the term what it is, but it's some type of brain term. It was something like that. But yeah. I said, I covered, how you cover your mouth with like your hand or like both hands. I covered my mouth with my hands, and I said no. And then like I just started crying. Oh my goodness, it was so sad. And then maybe like an hour or two later, after that I just was crying, then my brother started hugging me and comforting me. And then I just went in my room and just was thinking. And then that's like an hour or two later, or 3 hours later, whatever it was, I was just, like, I really didn't get any sleep, but I just was thinking that's probably the reason why I got that thought in my head, and then just in my body. I felt it too from like a few years ago. I was telling y'all about when it was saying pray for him, and then also why I was crying, because the crying started around that time last week or a few days ago. It started around that time, and I think that's why. And I was like, I don't know why I'm crying. It's like, from, spoiler alert, but Your Name, they do the same thing. They just start crying out of nowhere. It's like that. I was like, that's crazy. But it could have been God warning me and telling me that my favorite artist of all time and creator of all time passed away. In the messages from a few years ago, that maybe his time was coming up, or just to pray for him. Maybe he was, I don't know, the enemy was trying to attack him or whatever. Thinking on a spiritual level, because I am Christian. But yeah, that was so sad. Like, I was crying off and on throughout the night. Couldn't really sleep. I got up in the middle of the night and was just staring at my Dragon Ball Super poster in my other room. Just all the memories. And like, we'll never see him again. through his work, even though he had things he was working on, even with Dragon Ball Diamond and all that other stuff, Sandland, all that stuff that they haven't released yet or come out. Even if he did leave notes on what he wanted to happen, he still what if before they released it he decided to change something? Like, we don't, everything that we have, like, it's everything that's about to release and that's that they may release later on, it's not going to be from him. It's not going to be the same. But I'm okay if they never release any Dragon Ball stuff or any of his work again, as far as like creating a new series or whatever. And I'm also okay if they do release more stuff, even like a whole new series based off Dragon Ball. Because like, even if they do create the stuff they're gonna put out from now on, we know it's not him, you know what I'm saying? He has nothing to do with it anymore, as far as like him watching over this stuff and writing new stuff, come up with designs, character designs and all that. But yeah, it's Dragon Ball. Like, Dr. Slump was my very first manga I read when I was a teenager, and I also was watching the anime. Dragon Ball, as far as I can remember, that's not my very first anime, but it's one of my first. Naruto was my very first anime I remember watching back in 2005. That's honestly my very first. My furthest memory that I can remember is me watching Naruto in 2005 in my cousin's room. But then after that, literally probably like pretty much the next second, I was introduced to Dragon Ball. So I pretty much came out the womb knowing what Dragon Ball was, and I grew up with it. By the time I was in 3rd grade, I seen everything Dragon Ball related. Besides Super Course, because that wasn't even out at the time, but everything, and probably some of like the original Dragon Ball movies and all that. But when it comes to just even the movies and all that, like and definitely the shows, I straight up seen everything Dragon Ball show by the time I was in 3rd grade multiple times, besides all of the original Dragon Ball, because I could never find all the episodes up until I was a junior in high school. But before that, I only seen like a chunk of that. But yeah, even DBZ Bridge, I remember me, my brother, and my cousins watching the original Dragon Ball and DBZ Bridge in the 2000s. Like, that's crazy. The amount of impact this dude had, what's the word I'm looking for? Straight up, that's not even the word I'm looking for, but so clearly, pretty much so clear that that's his God-given gift. Creation, art, all that. How does, bro, like, his work, Dragon Ball specifically, literally jumped over to overseas without like no YouTube videos to promote, none of that. This is straight up just natural, organic, without no internet stuff for real. Like, that's so hard to do, even with the internet. But without it, bro, that's why this really paved the way for everything. I mean, a bunch of stuff. Even I read something where the creator of Bleach, he wouldn't even, like, one of the key reasons why he went through putting out his manga was because Akira Toriyama, he read over and stuff, and it was like, no, this is pretty good, you should release it, because he was thinking about not releasing it, but Akira Toriyama stepped in, because he the GOAT, talking about something, this is so, like, this is fire, like, release it. That, if it wasn't for that, it could have been a great, that could have been, if it wasn't for that, Bleach probably would have never even been released. Clearly, One Piece is so, I can't even tell, even if Oda never said anything, it's a lot of stuff is inspired by Dragon Ball in there. But even he said, like, just a bunch of, you can tell a bunch of, not even just manga creators, but even creators over here in America, like, there's a bunch of shows and stuff where people are literally inspired by Dragon Ball. Everybody is. Everybody done drawn a Dragon Ball character before. Everybody try to act like Goku and Bulma Autumn. Let's be honest. And Dragon Ball definitely helped me so much. It's the first show that I ever seen that actually not do revenge. Obviously, Kid Goku, he was doing that, but he had character development. Because Dragon Ball Z was the first thing I saw for real. I actually started watching when I was a child. Besides, just in the late 2000s, watching some original Dragon Ball here and there, but when I got a little bit older. Because I was 5 during that time. But after that, I started getting more into Dragon Ball and stuff. So Dragon Ball Z was the really first one I really, really sat down and watched all the way through as a child. And what I was saying? Oh yeah, that was the first character I really seen forgive and show mercy. He literally, Frieza literally just blew up his friend right from his face, and Mark Vegeta just did all these horrible things, and he still showed him mercy by giving him enough energy to at least escape the planet. Thank you, Toriyama, for teaching such important life lessons. I know they're important because that type of stuff is in the Bible. So, yeah. I don't know what his faith was. I'm saying, this is coming off the top of my head. I'm grieving right now. So, but when I said just now, I don't know what his faith was, I was kind of referring to, for most part, I was referring to what I said earlier, my story in the beginning. But, as a follower of Christ, I hope he gave his life to Christ. Even, because I wrote on my vision board, I'm pretty sure I wrote on my vision board to meet Akira Toriyama. I always wanted to be him. But yeah, I met so many people through Dragon Ball and through all just all the memories, bro. Me, my brother, and two of my older cousins, we used to have Dragon Ball marathons. Just in the family, we used to have Dragon Ball marathons. I rewatch Dragon Ball all the time. He's one of the main reasons. It's my God-given gift, one of my God-given gifts. But he's one of the people that inspired me to continue with art and all that, and to really even start anyway. I started because it is my God-given gift, but you know what I mean. He was there for that. It helped me through hard times, and he will truly be missed. He is truly the greatest of all time. I'm sorry, but, and this is not to bash any other creators and none of that, mangakas or whatever. It's not to bash them, but he's truly the greatest. Dragon Ball is easily the blueprint to all anime, even besides anime. It's just a blueprint. So many videos I created about him, so many drawings I've done. I'm gonna show some, but yeah. In 68, that's so young. That's not even. He still has so much life ahead of him. But I'm just glad that we at least, because originally Dragon Ball wasn't even supposed to. It was supposed to end that original Dragon Ball. It wasn't even supposed to go to Z, and it wasn't even supposed to be a straight up martial arts story. It was more of an adventure story, but it got popular, so they continue it. So, and then when they got to Z, it was supposed to end at Namek, but it ended up going to Boo. But I say this because at least he got to finish that. That's completely finished. Really super, even though it's canon, they were still working on that or whatever. But it's still bonus. Honestly, that's bonus, because that didn't come out till 20 years later. But yeah, it's absolutely crazy. This is a real legend. This one hurt. This hurt. I cannot lie. My eyes is puffy. I don't really care about how I sound right now. I really don't. Because I just gotta post it. And I've seen a bunch of videos. I was gonna post it even before I even saw other people making videos. But yeah. Even people just posting videos, that just shows how much support. So first of all, I just want to thank God for giving us Akira Toriyama and putting all these ideas in him so he can share it with the world to help inspire so many around the world for the many generations. and my life, it's literally so different. Like, that's definitely one of the things that that shaped me. I went to Japan. That probably would never happen if Dragon Ball never existed. Let's be real. Jesus. Yeah, let's be real. The show is so much fun. Even I watch the filler episodes on purpose. They're always so much fun. It's clearly like it's my number one favorite show, period. It's always been and always will be. It's so much my number one favorite that when people ask me what's my favorite show, I say this is now become my default. It's not going anywhere. Like when people ask me, what's your favorite anime or whatever, I'll be like, it's always my favorite. But it got to the point, that's so much my favorite that it's not even fair to the other anime. So that's my like number one by default. That's not going anywhere. That had to have a second place for number one when it comes to everything after Dragon Ball. Yeah, it's just like I met so many people through it on the internet. Like quarantine 2020 was so much fun. When I was just meeting all these people because of Dragon Ball, it was so much fun. Even before that, just throughout life, it's just so much fun. I'm very sad to see him go, but I'm very grateful for all that he's left with us and all that he's done. Even though his age, that's not a full life, but he accomplished so much more than a lot of people. Unfortunately, he accomplished. I mean, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying he accomplished much more than in the lifetime than unfortunately what a lot of people do. And I'm not saying you got to literally do that to accomplish a lot, like it, but I'm just saying that. Dang, like this one, I was not expecting. Like bro, this is not hitting. This ain't it. But yeah, so I will be sharing with you. I don't want to cause any more stress to myself or not really, or just being. I don't want to cause no more overwhelmingness to myself. This is already enough for like a whole lifetime. Like, my hero literally died. Like, I literally grew up with Dragon Ball. Like, this. It's crazy, but I will be sharing with you some of my favorite Dragon Ball. And not even some of my favorite, just some of my, even some, I'm gonna find some old ones, but yeah, it's not gonna be literally every single one of them, because I gotta find them all, and there's a lot, but I'm gonna be sharing with you some of them. And my favorite Dragon Ball Z, moment, there's a lot, but if I had to pick one, I think it's Gohan. When that red bird, I mean the bird and with the red line flew, and he had like that epiphany, and tears started coming from his eyes, and then he had to go and like that of course you're sad, but you know the work has to get done. You know that's not quite what I'm looking for, but it's around what I'm saying. Like that you gotta work through the pain. You gotta, even though you don't like, he had to destroy Cell, and it's just so much. Oh my goodness, that dude was a genius, and he's the greatest. But his legacy will live on forever, and I hope that when because they probably will. Honestly, I think they should even still keep releasing stuff, because at this point, it's kind of like Mickey Mouse. when Walt Disney, obviously I wasn't in there in the 60s, but obviously someone had to take over because Mickey Mouse got to the point where, like, it's not just like he made one character and dip, or so it's also like Akira Toriyama. It just got both Mickey Mouse, Walt Disney stuff, and Akira Toriyama stuff got so big that they just kept, like, it's a true franchise. Like, it's gonna keep going forever. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But I just hope the people that, if they create even a whole new brand, a whole new series of Dragon Ball stuff that he never wrote about or left notes about, if it's just completely up to them, I hope that the people who take parts of that, like, do it justice, you know, don't be, like, actually do it right. And I also want to thank everyone that God put in his life, and everyone that helped him, because yes, fans do help, when to help keep them motivated and keep going. And also want to, but also like to his editors, his senseis, just people, his wife, child, just literally people that helped along the way with his writing and stories and all that. And I knew Dragon Ball like the back of my hand. I can literally tell if Akira Toriyama wrote it or not. Like that happened before. I was like, Akira Toriyama didn't write this part, and I looked it up. True, I can tell. But yeah, now I'm about to be showcasing some of his showcasing some of my drawings and stuff of all that. Actually, before we get to that, there's like one more thing. There's so many things I could say, but let me there's one more thing I want to point out at least. That I could not wait to get, like, after school. Before school and after school, I couldn't wait to get home back after school to go watch Dragon Ball and stuff and Dr. Slump and study. And I've always been studying his artwork, and because I am an artist. Because he's successful for obvious. So like obviously if you're trying to be successful too in that area, study the people that already made it, especially him on his level. But yeah, just so many memories. Like literally, I was at lunch one time. I was like, I can't wait to get home. And my friend was like, why? Because Dragon Ball. Like, I mean, I had that was doing it. I was going through like a year or two where we all, like, especially earlier in the anime fans, we go through that little period where we're quote unquote ashamed to admit we like anime. For the most part, I'll always admit it. When it can, even if I admit for other anime, I admit that I watched Dragon Ball, not literally every single time, because during that one time I was like, we all go through that stage where, oh, I'm ashamed to like anime or embarrassed. But for the most part, even during that time, or if I had that thought, I always say, I mess with Dragon Ball. Not during that part where I just said just then. Maybe I might have, I don't know. Or was I watching? No, I was watching Dragon Ball. But yeah, but still, it's like even people that don't watch anime, they be like, oh yeah, I mess with that Dragon Ball though. And yeah, dang, this is crazy. This was one I was definitely afraid of. I was definitely afraid of this one. Of this death. No, I was. The pain never goes. It gets easier, but it never goes away. Of losing someone. And you can definitely feel the pain. It's okay to cry. You can definitely feel the pain of famous people dying too, especially because they definitely have impact a lot of people. Like, he personally impacted my life so much. So yeah, a lot that has to do with me today is because of Akira Toriyama. Of course, we love Dragon Ball, but you don't love the gift more than the creator, of course. So I love Akira Toriyama more. Like, when I first found out about this, I wasn't even thinking about, so what they gonna do with Dragon? No, I was thinking about, like, my legend just dipped out. But yeah, there's so much more I can say. But it's just so much more I can say. But I feel like I'm missing some. One more thing I want to point out when obviously we just got the news, but when that happened, it's like I feel like a piece of my rib and like a piece of my side literally just someone pulled it out, yanked it out. Like, it feels like like it don't feel good at all. It feels like a piece went missing, But I know that's really just that he's definitely my like creator soulmate when it comes to art and stuff, and just in general. I feel like soulmates could be more than romantic. It can just be soulmates in music, or in this case, this stuff, just comedy. I can tell who he was through his writing. He was a very comedic person. You can tell through his work, because you get to see inside his mind at the end of the day, because this is all came from his mind. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I'm gonna share with you some of my drawings. Here we go.
Now we end the story of the Dragon Balls.
Till we meet again, guys!
Until next time.